Hello, hello, my beautiful students. How are you today? I hope that you are pretty fine. Okay, let me tell you that we are going to be talking about some specific things that are going to be a kind of interesting, because we are going to be start talking about quantifiers. Quantifiers, what are those? The quantifiers, are we going to be talking about quantities? Well, actually, sometimes yes. Yes, we are going to be talking about this, but also we are going to be having some situations that are going to be pretty and useful for us. Okay, so don't get worried about that. It is going to be super easy. And remember that if you have questions or something related to that, we are going to be talking. You can let me know anytime about your question, your doubts, okay? We are going to continue with something that is super easy, but that sometimes it could be like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that. That's why we are starting with this. Well, let's go here. Where is my excellent? Here it is. Very good, my dear ones. Here we go. Okay, let's continue with our intermediate level with this amazing week that we are having. And let's start with this. Great to see you one more time, guys. So remember, any question that you have, let me know and I'm going to be helping you. Here we go. Hello there. Let's start. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. A la 1, a la 2, a la 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Chan, 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 chan. Is it going to be easy? Yes, it is going to be super easy. Come on, don't worry. So I remember that yesterday we were talking about the indeterminate article with A and N. We were talking about this, the leaf, the leash, the boy, the euro, and so on. Okay, we were practicing with this, but one of the most important things is that we need to be pretty sure about if we know how to use the determinate article, that is going to be this one. Este es el que me preocupa, el the. For that reason is that we started with this. No, you can do it. No, you can do it. Yes, indeed, you can do it. Let's start with this. And here we go. Yesterday we were saying that we were talking about this one. Okay, the determinated article. And my question was, do you really know word we are going to be using this? It's okay, don't worry. We are going to continue with all this. Here we go. I'm checking my list because I have everything from you here. Well, here we go. Yesterday we were talking about this, where we are going to be using a and n, and where we are going to be using the. That is super important in this. But one of the situations that I have here with you is that if you remember that we were going to be using this, the, with some in some specific situations. We were talking yesterday that we are going to be using the when we are talking or mentioning about something that is unique or there is only one. For example, the sun, the moon, the internet. We were talking about also the pronunciation of this one. We were saying that we are going to pronounce it the or the. It's like a the, like E and the letter A at the same time, no? The sun, the moon, the internet. And also, we were saying that we are going to be talking about with the, when we are talking again about something that I was mentioning before. Excellent. I bought a t-shirt or a shirt. The shirt is red. There is where I am going to be using my the. And when we are going to be talking about directions, are we going to be talking about directions? Yes, we can do it. Because in other countries, you are going to be giving or having directions with the west, the east, the north, the south, no, the directions. Excellent. Where is the direction? Is here. To the east, to the north. Ooh, that's great. But let me continue with this that I have here. Only because I love you. Ella Lolas. I don't like to be speaking this in English, but it is a kind of necessary. Let me use, we are going to be working with black color. Okay, this is super easy, and this is what we already know. The situation is going to be this. The indefinite or indeterminate article when you are going to be using it, right? But the situation is the. That also we are going to be using this the when we are going to be mentioning a singular noun that is going to be used to represent a class of group or animals. Yes, we are going to be talking about animals also. For example, the fox is a clever animal. He's representing a characteristic of a group of animals. Okay. Also, we are going to be using the with names of rivers, not rivers, seas, oceans, group of islands, or mountains range. Like, for example, the Atlantic, the Himalayas. Why? Because they are specials. They are unique. We are not going to be having two of them. That's why we are having this the with all these categories. Okay, mountains, islands, oceans, rivers. We are not going to be having two Bravo rivers, for example, no? And when an animal is representing a group of them, you are going to be making use of that also. No? Well, here comes the funny way. So we are not going to be talking about and then. But what it is super important for me is this the. Okay, we sometimes are going to be using a or an. We are going to be using the. Or sometimes we are not going to be using this zero article. Did you know that? That we are not going to be using the article, not even an nor the. Zero article. And when we are going to be making use of zero article, well, here you have, don't worry about this because you already know the A and M. So when we are mentioning that again as a thing, for example, I saw a man and a dog. The man was old. Oh. For specific things, the children are in the garden. Who? The children, not the animals, not the adults, the children. I'm specifying. When we have only one thing, one special and unique thing. The moon looks beautiful today. Oh, that's where we are going to be making use of that. When we are talking about common places, like we are going to the park, we are going to go, well, that could it be also, but okay, that's good. Now, we are going to the park. We are going to the market. We are going to the cinema. We're going to the beach. Okay. Well, also when you are talking about superlatives or with superlatives, we are going to be using it because we are specifying he is the best student in the class. Oh. Or when you are talking about musical instruments, yes, we are going to be having this. My daughter plays the violin. Excellent. That is where you are going to be using this because the instruments, the students, the places are unique. Specials, you are specifying where. But my question now is, where I am going to be using zero article? Well, we are going to be figuring out today. For that reason, let me show you. Let's continue with this zero article. When we are not going to be making use of the zero article. Here you have it. When you are going to be having general meanings, you are not going to be using the or a. For example, I don't like children. In general, all children all over the world. All children all over the world. That is going to be that one. Now, when you are talking about meals, your breakfast, your dinner, and so on, you are not going to be using these articles. What time do you have the breakfast? Nah. What time do you have a breakfast? No. What time do you have breakfast? Yes, because it's something like a kind of general, if I can say it in that way. No. Also, when you are talking about years, months, and days, you are not going to be making use of these articles. 2005 was a great year. We cannot say that 2005 was a great day. No, a great year. No. 2005 was a great year. No. 2005 was a great year. That's where we are going to be making use of that. Now, when you are talking about the TV, there's a good film on TV because we used to say there's a good film on the TV. Angie, ¿segura que esto viene en nuestro temario? Yes, it is. Todo es nivel intermediate, B1. Porque en el nivel básico es cuando ves el A y el N. Y a veces llegas a ver en un nivel básico, ya avanza a un nivel A2, por ejemplo, el D. Pero esto del zero article y ya fuerte con el D, se empieza a ver en los niveles intermediates. Bueno, te voy a dar, vamos a dar una cuestión de qué temas se ven en los básicos, qué se hace en cada nivel, ¿no? Internacionalmente. Así que no te espantes, don't worry. Toda la institución se basa en un programa internacional para cada nivel. So, when you're going to be talking about the TV, you are not going to be saying the TV as I did it. Okay. Only if you are specifying, like I was saying, there's a good film on TV. You are not going to say there's a good film on the TV. Only if you want to specify a lot, yes, depending. On when you are talking about languages, school, subjects, and so on, you are not going to say, I like to speak the English. No, with that, he doesn't speak English. No, he doesn't speak the English. No. I study biology. I studied the biology. No, never ever. I study English. I study biology. That is it. Or when you are talking about next, last, and so on, you are not going to be using the or and. Never. We went to the theater last week. You cannot say we went to the theater the last week. It is sometimes it is pretty common that we say we went to the movie theater the last week. On the last week, no. Or I want to watch something on the TV. No, on TV. That's the reason why we are reviewing this. Okay, so as we were saying, with specific things, okay, I need the box on the table, something specific with things that we have mentioned before. Ah, I saw a film last night. Let me tell you that the film was great. Oh, I'm mentioning again the same situation. That's where and when we are going to be using the. Remember, with a specific job, only one person can have. This is a plus. A specific job only one person can have. She's the manager of the company. Only one person can have that job. There cannot be two managers of the company, no? He's the owner of this. He's the teacher of that level. Only one can be in charge of that for a specific job. Or as we were saying, with something unique, or if there's one of it, only one of it. For example, the moon, the sky, the sun, the earth, something that is specific, there is only one. The river, the Himalayas, and so on, something that is specific, that there is only one and it is unique all over the world, you are going to be using the. Remember, with superlatives, and for example, this, you're the best, I have the best friend I have ever had. You are specifying everything here with this specific, super specific, okay? For example, and we are not going to be using any kind of article or article when we talk about things in general. For example, in plural. Dolphins are very clever. Because we are talking about all the dolphins all over the world. All the species, all the kind of dolphins all over the world are super intelligent. I'm talking about that specific animals, okay? But remember that if we are going to be talking about the fox is the clever animal, when I am talking in singular, representing a group of animals, ahí sí. Pero mientras estoy hablando en plural, never ever. No, for example, here, when it is specific, the dolphins in the Amazon are pink. You are specifying what kind of dolphins. Only the dolphins in the Amazon are going to be pink. Oh, you are specifying for that reason, you are going to be using that. But if you are not specifying, and if you are talking in plural, you are not going to be needing your article, or only unless you want to specify that the fox is the most intelligent animal all over the world of all the animals. You are talking in singular, and that animal is representing a specific group of animals. No, we are, as I was telling you here, we are talking about a specific group of dolphins in the Amazon River. When it is a specific, or for example, you are not going to be making use of the article, any kind of article, before a possessive adjective. My, your, his, her, it's, our, your, their. No, we cannot use an article. My friend loved the film. My friend, here. We are not going to be using the, never ever in the life. Here, yes, because we are specifying about what we are speaking about or talking about. Also, before names and before Miss, Misters, Mistress, Miss, Krista likes music. The Krista, no. El Pedro, el Juan, el Pepe, la Lupe, no, never, ever. The Mr. George, no, never. Mr. George is happy. Never use an article before a name. Or when you are going to be talking about abstract concepts, you are not going to be using any kind of article. The life is beautiful. The life. No, this is abstract. Avoid using an article. Or with certain phrases at the school, at the home, in the bed, at the university, on the holiday. Well, it is not going to be super duper necessary. At school, I'm at school. I'm at home. I'm at the home. No, that doesn't sound nice. I'm in the bed. Well, if you're specifying a lot, but it is something, if it is something general, I'm in bed. No. So some exceptions that we are going to be having. I need a bottle of water. Water is countable. Okay. Wrong. I need a water. No, a water. Why? Here you have your water. No, never. I need some water. Do you remember that we were talking about some? Water is uncountable. You cannot say some water. That's correct. No. You cannot say any water, depending what you are going to be saying. Very good. Let's continue with this here article that is super interesting. We are not going to be using articles when we talk about languages, as we were saying, right? For example, I like English and French. You cannot say, I like the English and the French. No. Or if you are specifying about people, I like the English and the French guy. Oh, the word is where you can be using that, okay? But we say the English language, the French language, because you are specifying. And we are not going to be making use of the articles when we talk about magazines. Yes, magazines, yes, I know that it is a kind of strange, but that's truth. For example, my sister likes reading the Cosmopolitan. No. My sister likes reading Cosmopolitan. Le gusta leer Cosmopolitan. No, la Cosmopolitan. No. But when you are going to be talking about newspapers, take the, vas a utilizar el de. For example, my uncle reads the Times every morning. Mi tío lee el Times cada mañana. How can I check or how can I find the difference? Well, that is going to be pretty easy. No, we don't need, you are going to realize it. I like to read the Reader's Digest. La Reader's Digest? No. My sister likes reading Reader's Digest. Pero con periódicos, ahí sí hay una cuestión. Con revistas no usas artículos, con periódicos vas a usar el de in order to mention the name of that one. What do you think? It's a kind of easy, though. Well, indeed, we are going to be practicing a little bit. Well, zero article. We are going to be making use of this article in the next way. First of all, with countable plurals, using general sense, students, apples, that's where you are not going to be using or making use of the articles. Okay, the zero article is used with uncountables. Water, love, bread, air, no, information, knowledge, And name of some individuals, geographical features, for example, with continents, with countries, with cities, and so on, depending with some individuals, geographicals, no? For example, continents, countries. You are not going to be saying the continents, the countries, the cities, no. Countries, towns, roads. But if you want to specify something, indeed, remember that you are going to be using the when you are specifying, okay? With days, months, seasons, and holidays, you are not going to be saying a and the. No, never ever. With certain places and institutions, to the school, from the prison to the university, to a university. No, university never goes with the and. Well, depending what you want to say. No, remember that the context is going to be playing here with us. But to the school, we are going to avoid using articles. Remember, with meals, we are not going to be making use of articles. Prepositional phrases by bus, by bicycle, by plane, by train, by boat, on foot. You are not going to be using the article by on the foot, by the boat, by the train. No, 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 no. Only the preposition and that's it. But if there is a word or phrase that modifies the noun, an article can be used. The most delicious dinner. Ah, here you are making use of this article because you are specifying. And if you are going to be specifying, it is possible that you use articles. When it is something in general, you are not going to be making use of these articles. But if it is something specific indeed, you are going to be using this. For that reason, we are going to be having this game that is going to be super duper useful for you. And we are going to be completing the sentences. For example, we usually go to school library. What do you think? Ah, te vamos right. Ooh, the cat is going to eat you. How can I complete these sentences? We usually go to the school library. Yes, I am specifying. There is pencil under the chair. What could it be that? There is a pencil under the chair. That's super cool. I got another one. Girl in the photo is my sister. You are specifying. Excellent. The girl in the photo is my sister. Cool. There is apple in my school bag. It's very easy. There is an apple in my school bag. Excellent. They have, what could it be? A house next to the beach. Beach, no beach. Beach, beach. With soup. This is, I don't know what, new red car that my father bought. You are specifying. This is the new red car that my father bought. Excellent. My little brother is what? Good student. A good student. Excellent. This is, I don't know what, easy exercise, isn't it? This is an easy exercise, isn't it? The police officer is wearing uniform. It's okay if it could be general. But if we are going to be specifying, what can I use? The uniform. No va a ser uniform. No. The police officer is wearing a uniform. They found snake in the forest. They found snake in the forest. A snake in the forest. Cool. His grandfather was, I don't know what, an honest man. No, because it is not a honest man. It is an honest man. The letter H doesn't sound. His grandfather was an honest man. That's super cool. She bought expensive bracelet. An expensive bracelet. Excellent. What do I have here? That boy lives in old house in London. In an old house in London. You can be using that boy lives in the old house in London. If there was only one old house in London, you can be using that. Okay. I'm looking at woman who is wearing a big hat. What could it be? I'm looking at the woman who is wearing a big hat. I'm specifying, super specifying. Well, super specifying that I'm looking at the woman who is wearing a big hat. Super specific. And the last one, children are playing basketball. Specifying. The children are playing basketball. Excellent. Very good. That was super easy. Well, now let me continue with this that I have here for you. Remember that if you have any question, any situation, let me know and I'm going to be helping you in order to solve. But yes, we are going to be practicing with the, when, yes, we are going to be making use of the, and when, now we are not going to be making use of any kind of article. Now, as we were talking about we are going to continue with this that is going to be super easy. I know that you already know how and when we are going to be making use of much and many. A lot of, or lots of. That is what we are going to be talking in this moment. And indeed, we are going to be practicing. Much and many, as we know, are mainly used for negative sentences or for questions. Okay. They are not so common in affirmative sentences, but indeed, you are going to be finding them sometimes. Much is going to be used for uncountables and many for countables, okay? But much is going to be, yes, for plurals or singulars, but many is going to be for plurals. For example, I don't have much time. Time is uncountable. He doesn't need much money. Money is uncountable. It is going to be countable if I say bills, coins. Oh, that kind of money, yes, indeed, is going to be countable. But if I say money in general, no, it is not going to be countable. Or for example, does it use much electricity? Does it use much electricity? Electricity, it is uncountable. You need something special in order to elect that. No, and many is going to be for plurals, countable nouns. There aren't many chairs in the room. You are going to have this difference. If you can count it with your finger, is because it is countable, and it is countable if that word is going to be having plurals. If it doesn't have plurals, it is going to be uncountable. I don't have many friends. I can count my friends. Do you think many people will go? Yes, like 2,000. Oh, I can be counting them. Okay, that's how we are going to be making use of much and many. Remember, we are going to be finding much and many for uncountables, uncountables, but in negative sentences or questions. In affirmatives, we are going to be having another option. Well, two options, and they are going to be a lot of or a lot of, a lot of or lots of. And as I was telling you, in affirmative, instead of saying much or many, we are going to be using a lot of or lots of. Lots of or a lot of are not going to be pretty common, sorry, on negative sentences. That is going to be strange. Or in questions, yes, also it is going to be strange, okay? A lot of or lots of are going to be super duper similar. For example, I need a lot of coffee. Or I can say I need lots of coffee. There is a lot of traffic today. Countables, no? There is lots of traffic today. Well, that could it be? A lot of is going to be for plural countable nouns. She has a lot of friends. I can say she has lots of friends. There are a lot of cars on the street. Can we say there are lots of cars on the streets? Yes, that could it be possible. Remember, much. For uncountable nouns, the party was so much fun. Fun is uncountable. I didn't get much sleep last night. Sleep is uncountable, el sueño. How much money do you have? Money is uncountable. Here is correct. This is correct. Negative and questions. But here, remember that it is not super common to have much. In affirmative, we can say a lot of fun, a lot of fun. But sometimes you are going to be finding this so much fun. But you are going to be finding this so much fun because you are using so much fun. Muchísima diversión. We cannot say there was a lot of, no, that's strange. But yes, indeed, we can be using so much fun. I love you so much. Oh, that is going to be a mixture between two words, so much or I love you or so much. And many, as we were saying, is going to be for countable nouns. I mean, we are talking with many, a large amount, but with things that we can be counting is, if I can say it in this way, with your finger. She has many friends. She has like 20 friends. There aren't many people here. Ooh, countables. Negatives. How many properties do you own? Countables. Question. But as we were saying, sometimes you are going to be finding many in affirmatives. Affirmatives, not why, miss, why? Give me a chance in order to show you this. Much and many. Remember that much is going to be used with uncountable nouns, mainly using negative and interrogative, mainly, but not always necessary. And here you have some examples. How much money do you have? We didn't spend much money. There isn't much data to download. I'm sorry, but I don't have much time to be talking with you. Too much water drawing in the mirror. Too much water drawing in the mirror? Yes, because it is going to be uncountable. Many. When we are going to be making use of many, many is going to be used with countable nouns and mainly used in questions. It could be in affirmative sentences or negative sentences. I don't have many friends. I can count my friends. There are too many disadvantages in this business. Too many disadvantages. I can be counting them, okay? Countables, too many, demasiadas. How many children do you have? Are there many poor people in France? What do you think? What do you think? Easy or difficult? It is not that difficult, right? So, how many children? Are there many poor people in France? It is going to be something that is countable. Why I'm touching or why I'm practicing this with you? Because we need to talk about countables and uncountables. But Miss but Angie, I already know what the countables and uncountables nouns are. Well, that's cool. That's great. But when we are in basic, we used to teach like this, not part of the topic, because then we are going to be having another dark side for those topics that needs a kind of more like reflection. That's why I was touching this, how much, how many, why? Because in a moment we are going to continue with this. Well, it is important that you know that countables are not going to be only the things that we can be counting with our finger or hand or with my eye. Or uncountables are going to be the ones that are a lot. Well, no. In this moment, let me tell you that when we are going to start, as we are starting talking about countables and uncountable nouns, we are not going to be talking about the things that we can cover, but also about culture. Because for me, here in Mexico, bread can be countable, but in another context, in another country, bread is not going to be countable. Oh, that's why we need to learn, not again, but check some situations. For example, we are going to be having here some common uncountable nouns that we are going to be finding. For example, if we are going to be talking about food, liquids, materials, subjects, weather, and others, we are going to be having certain common uncountable nouns that we are going to be using. For example, beef, butter, cheese, meat, rice, salt, and sugar. These are not going to be countables. They are going to be uncountables. And you need to use something special in order that they can be countables. For example, a bowl of rice, a cup of sugar. In that way, it is going to be now countable. Or for example, if we are going to be talking about liquids, water, milk, olive oil, soup, or tea are not going to be countables. They are uncountables. Here and in China, they are going to be uncountables. We cannot be counting them alone in a pure state. We are going to be having other ways. If we are going to be talking about materials, let me tell you that we are going to be having this: leather, the metal, the oil, plastic, silk, and good? Yes, those are not going to be countables. I'm so sorry. Or if we are going to be talking about subjects, art, geography, English, science, biology, algebra, or physics, they are not going to be countables, they are uncountables. If we are going to be talking about the weather, fog, ice, rain, snow, and the word weather, they are not going to be countables, they are uncountables. And if I'm going to be talking about other things, for example, advice, news, furniture, money, noise, work, information, knowledge, something that I cannot touch, for example, in this case, are not going to be countables. Pero yo sí puedo contar ¿qué será? El metal, las barras de metal o el metal como está. Y además acuérdate que no vamos a hablar de lo que es contable solamente para mí, sino lo que los otros países consideran contable o incontable. Ahí está el meollo del asunto. For that reason, let me tell you when we are going to be talking about countables and uncountables. And we are going to be having some countable nouns when we have a singular and plural form. If you have a word with singular and plural, those are going to be countables. For example, a tree or two trees. Remember that the countables are going to be the nouns that can be counted, pueden ser contados. Or for example, when we can use a singular verb or a plural verb, here verbs are going to be having a special place. The book is all, the books are all. You are going to know that you have a countable noun if they can be pluralized and if we can have verbs in singular and in plural form. The book is all, the books are all. My verb to be is, are, depending the necessities that we have. Those are the countables. They are going to be having plurals and they can be used with singulars and plurals parts of the verb. Now, if we are going to be talking about uncountable nouns, let me tell you that they have only one form. And that form is not plural. That form is going to be singular. An uncountable noun is going to be that noun who doesn't or that doesn't have plural. Butter, butters, no, never ever. Sugar, sugares, no. And also, we are going to be using the singular part of the verbs with these uncountables. Sugar is sweet. You cannot say sugars are sweet. No, 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 no. That doesn't exist here. Sugars, no. Or we can not, and we cannot use an uncountable noun. You cannot use an or a number before that you have this one. For example, bread. Un pan, pero para mí es contable, pero en los Estados Unidos, it is not going to be countable. That is the situation. Sale entonces, tú tienes algo que es contable cuando tienes su forma singular y plural. Sale que se puede transformar sin ningún problema. Cuando puedes usar una parte singular del verbo, como el verbo to be, is, are, ¿no? Y no pasa nada. Y los uncountables, los que no puedes contar, son los que no van a formar ningún plural en la escritura y siempre van a estar con un verbo en singular. Sugar is delicious. Music is fantastic. This and that. Y aparte, cuando no puedas usar un número antes, one bread, 10 bread, 2 rice, 2 arroz, 2 arroces, pero está refiriéndote a los granitos, tienen que ser medidas, kilogram of rice, that's cool. ¿Cómo le estás viendo hasta acá? Bueno, those are going to be the countables and uncountables. Bueno, uncountable nouns are often abstract ideas made of smaller parts, some food, some liquids and gases, some materials, and you need to be careful. Because uncountable nouns in English, furniture, advice, work, news, information, luggage, as I was telling you, they are going to be uncountable. They are going to be uncountables. No puedes contar furniture, advisory work, news, information, luggage, and money. No, you cannot be counting them. That is the situation with the countables and uncountables. Till this moment, what do you think? What do you think? Yes, I used to stop because I need to be checking every time if I am recording, because once I had the experience that I was speaking, and it was not recording. That's why we are checking every single moment. So, will you already have the countables and uncountables? Countables, acuérdate, los que tienen plural y pueden ir con el verbo en singular o plural. Verbos que pueden hacer esto, ¿no? Y los uncountables son los que no podemos contar, no tienen un plural, siempre van en singular cuando se pidan y no usas el and, or a specific number. No, 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 those are not going to be. Those are the uncountables. And we were saying that the uncountable nouns, los incontables, que van a ser los más pesaditos, líquidos o gases, materiales, la misma comida, algo hecho en pequeñas partecitas como sugar, rice, or abstract ideas. That's when you are not going to be making use of when. De los countables. Vas a hacer uso de los uncountables, ¿sale? Porque son cuestiones que no se pueden contar. As we were saying, countables and uncountables, what is the difference? The same that I was telling you, but also this one, pero aparte estos más también. Ah! Here it is, my slide. Excellent. I was looking for my this. Okay, liquids or gases are well, depending. You can count the container it is in, but the liquid or gas, no. So it is the liquids and gases are going to be countables only if you can count the container that they have. But así solitito, no, never ever in the life, never. What do you think? Or for example, 2 bottles of milk, that is going to be countable. In that, yes, we are going to be having countables. Or for example, water, milk, wine, oil, coffee, rain, soup, air, smoke, blood, juice, fog, intelligence, knowledge, happiness, sadness, all those things that you cannot be counting with your single finger are going to be uncountables. But if you're going to be making use of container for them, yes, indeed, they can be countable with all on the container. Very good. So be careful with the following uncountable nouns, as they may consider countables in other languages. Furniture, advice, work, news, information, language, money. That is uncountable. Por eso te decía, vamos a tener un acercamiento hacia la cultura del idioma inglés, porque si yo te digo, el pan para mí sí es contable, el chorizo también, los el dinero, también los avisos, ¿no? No, not everything is going to be countable. Solamente cuando tienes un contenedor para tener ciertas cositas, ahí, o cuando tienes una medida, ¿no? Específica, una cubetita o algo donde tú empieces a medir. Los que eran incontables para que se vuelvan contables. Pero los incontables no se van a volver, perdóname, los contables no se van a volver uncontables. Why? No. Y acuérdate que es contable para otros países y que no es contable para nosotros. Para nosotros, por ejemplo, que ya no será contable. No sé. Una sopa, ¿no? Que no me la voy a acabar ya. Es incontable. Está súper incontable. Porque, pues, es el líquido. La sopa, lo de adentro. Pero si ya le puse un container, the plate with the soup. Ah, el plato con la sopa. Entonces, sí se vuelve contable. Eso es lo que quiero dejarte sobre todo hoy. ¿Cuáles son los contables e incontables? Contables and uncontables, ¿no? Nouns that can be contables and uncontables. ¿Cuáles sí pueden ser contables e incontables dependiendo? Well, use as an uncountable and use as a countable noun. For example, food with meat. Meat is expensive. In general. Meat, ¿qué crees? Va a ser incontable la carne, a no ser que tú mention a type of meat. I like eating curried meats, like sausages and bacon. Si yo te digo, meat is expensive, la carne en general, la carne es cara. ¿Sale? No, nosotros podemos decir una carne, pásame 2 carnes, pero en otros países no vamos a poder decir. En otros países de habla inglesa no es considerado contable la palabra food, comida. Meat is expensive. La carne en general es cara. ¿Sale? Or we are going to be having this. I like eating curried meats, like sausages and bacon. Ahí tú ya tienes una medida confiable y contable. Food. I like to eat fruit. Me gusta comer fruta, pero no decimos una fruta, 2 frutas. Quizás tú sí, pero en un contexto bilingüe es diferente. Es una manzana, 2 manzanas, etcétera. General como comida. But if we are talking about kind of fruits, tipos de frutas, puedes decir, there are fruits in the baskets. ¿Dónde las podemos contar? Or for example, talking about experience, knowledge or skill. Knowledge of skills. Experience is the best teacher. Or a burning pilot fire is frighteners put out 2 fires today. What could it be that? What do I have here? Mira, for example here, we are going to be having this. Knowledge or skill. Experience is the best teacher. You cannot say 1 experience, 2 experience, 3 experience. La experiencia como conocimiento o habilidad no va a ser contable. Como aquí, la experiencia es la mejor maestra, ¿no? Pero la experiencia en general, como habilidades, como conocimiento. But if you're going to be using experience as an incident that affects you, yes. I have 3 experiences of scary plane rides. Tengo 3 experiencias que dan miedo, ¿no? De 3 vuelos en avión. Ahí tú ya estás especificando y ya puedes contar el número de experiencias que has tenido, no la experiencia como tal. La experiencia es la madre de todas las ciencias. Bueno, eso es incontable, pero 3, 4 experiencias de que, ay, tuve esta experiencia ayer, me pararon en el carro, pero yo no me paré, por eso, bueno, ese es un tipo de experiencia que tú tuviste propia personal en tu vida también. Or for example here, element, the fire, as an element as a burning pile. Fire burns. El fuego quema general. No puedo decir un fuego, dos fuegos, tres fuegos. Me quema. No. El fuego en general, ¿no? Pero mira, como elemento, the firefighters put out 2 fires today. Los bomberos apagaron 2 fuegos el día de hoy. Pero yo no estoy hablando como fuego en general, el quinto elemento, el cuarto elemento, perdóname, sino como los que se fueron suscitando. ¡Ay! Hay que apagar este fuego y hay que apagar ese fuego. Fueron 2 fuegos que apagamos hoy, ¿no? En lugares muy específicos es donde va saliendo. Or, for example, the ability to remember. Or the memory, if we are talking about memory, the ability to remember or specific memories of past events. Aquí está la diferencia. Ability to remember. I have a terrible memory. I always forget people's names. Tengo una memoria terrible en general, la memoria en general, mi memoria en general. Pero mira, I have found memories of the volleyball games my friend and I used to play in college. Ahí ya son memorias, pero como recuerdos, y eso sí tú los puedes contar, ya son cuestiones mucho más específicas. Tengo 2 recuerdos bien bonitos de ese señor. Cuando me prestó dinero y cuando me volvió a prestar. Son mis 2 recuerdos bonitos que sí puedo contar, pero así. Ay, my memory, mi memoria, ahí sí ya hay una cuestioncita. Oh my goodness, what were we doing? We were talking about this. I had to explain it. If not, we were going to be having some situations with this. But we can do it. What do you think? How do you feel? Tell me. It is not as difficult, right? Te voy a dejar unos ejercicios de repaso. And tomorrow we will continue with this porque ¿sabes qué? Me urge enseñarte los quantifiers. Few, little, much, many, a lot of, and which are going to be the differences with this or with those. What do you think? Easy or difficult? Easy, right? That's going to be cool. Beautifuls, I have to say goodbye. But I promise that if you have any question, any situation, please, let me know. And I'm going to be helping you, okay? Well, my amazing students, have a wonderful day. And we will continue tomorrow with this. Cualquier duda, déjame saber, por favor. Bye.